Hey guys, Eric Cogorno here with Performance Golf, and in today's video, especially if you're a senior golfer, you're going to want to pay attention to this. I'm going to show you a couple little things you can do during the setup and in swing to make you hit the ball significantly farther with less effort. So I've been coaching golf for like 16 years or so now, and I've coached a lot of senior golfers. And if you're a senior golfer, or just a regular golfer, we all want to hit the ball as far as we do or even farther. Right? A lot of senior golfers come in, they say, Eric, gosh, back in the day when I was younger, I used to be able to drive it so much farther. I hit all my clubs farther than I do now. Can you help me out? And of course, the answer is yes. And there's typically two different routes to get that distance back so you can outdrive your buddies when you go play. Option one is you do some swing speed training, you go to the gym and work out, you probably eat a little different, right? Lots of effort to get some speed, to get club head speed up. Typically, we don't take that route. What I want, what you probably want, is something pretty simple and easy and less effort. And how we can do that to get you to hit the ball farther without swinging any harder, which is the key, is learning how to get the club head to approach the ball from inside and hit slightly up on the ball through delivery. In fact, TrackMan and devices like that show us that the more we can hit up, within reason, the farther the ball is going to go with the same club head speed. So if you're a senior golfer, you want to hit it as far as you used to or farther than you do now, but don't want to have to swing any harder, these are the pieces you're going to want to do. Hit up more on the ball and swing a little bit more from inside. Now, how do we do that? Now, most senior golfers that come in to see me, and I'm going to show you both sides of the spectrum with the setup, which is the piece we're going to do first. If you came in, you said, Eric, I don't care about how far I hit it. In fact, I wouldn't even mind hitting it a little shorter. All I care about is hitting fairways. I might suggest that you take your setup with a little bit more of an open stance, and that's going to let me get through the ball better. I'll probably have some pretty good club face control. I might hit it a little bit straighter, but the ball's going to go nowhere. Okay, the reality of a senior golfer as you get older is, are you able to turn and move more or less compared to when you were younger? Less, right? As you get older, you can't rotate and turn maybe as good as you used to. So we're probably only going to be able to turn well on one side of the swing. Probably got to pick and choose one side. And if you pick this front part, hey, I want to turn better through the golf ball. Again, totally cool. You probably won't gain distance. You might hit some more fairways. Most of the players I work with don't want that. We want the distance, which means the turn that we're looking for, the part we want, is on the backswing half. Okay, so cheating the backswing is the first thing that I want you to do to gain this distance. So I'm going to take my normal setup. Golf ball's forward in my stance, right? Just about underneath my lead armpit. Feet are slightly outside of my shoulder width, right? So nice wide stance. And I'm going to take my trail foot and I'm going to pull it back a couple of inches, maybe 3 inches or so to start with. There's no perfect of how far you pull it back. We'll play with it. But the foot is going to be noticeably back. That's going to make my feet and my hips close to the target. I'm presetting some of my backswing turn. Now, once I preset some of that backswing turn, that's going to make it easier to increase my backswing rotation. Now, if we want distance with less effort, let me ask you this. Do you think you'll hit it farther with a short backswing that looks like this? Or with a longer backswing that looks like this? Okay, a longer backswing looks like that, right? The farther we can get the club head and my hands away from the ball during my backswing, the greater this distance, the farther the ball goes with the least amount of effort. Are there guys like Jon Rahm who swing from here and hit it far, of course, but they swing with a ton of energy? Longer backswing, less effort. How do we get a longer backswing, more turn? So step number one I want you to do is take that setup. We'll pull that trail foot back slightly, okay? Now, as we're making our backswing, to increase that backswing length, I want you to feel like your trail hip and shoulder work as far up and back away from the golf ball as you can do, right? Within your flexibility limits. Foot's back, the hip and shoulder go up and back. I'm even feeling when I do that the club head is getting on this side of my head. Get the club head towards the target. Hip and shoulder back, club head towards the target. We're cheating the backswing turn. We can only turn in one direction, probably not both. We're gonna get the backswing, longer backswing, more power, less effort. So let's hit one from there first. I'm gonna just hit my normal driver from there. So take your normal setup, pull the right foot back, and then feel the hip and the shoulder working up and back during the backswing. So you can hit a nice long backswing and hit a drive. That's a solid shot, probably down just the right side of the fairway there. And that's exactly what I'm looking for ball flight wise. You should notice that the ball is probably gonna launch as high or a little higher than you're used to, right? And maybe a little bit more of a draw bias with that club head coming from low and inside. Okay, so let's do one more like that. Normal setup, feet are wide. I'm gonna pull the foot back and I'm feeling the hip and the shoulder go back. Now, really easy drill I like to do with this. If you drop the club for a second, put your hands together, keep your left hand down here where you start, but get your right hand to go up and back. Feel like you're stretching out that trail side. Again, whatever you can feel flexibility, you don't have to push it, but feel that trail side stretch out like this. It's a really good feel to get that length, get that trail shoulder and hand up and back. Again, we're expecting the ball to launch a little bit higher, start a little bit more right and draw back, and get more distance with the same speed. Right foot's back. We're gonna feel the hip and the shoulder going up and back during the backswing to lengthen out the backswing. And there's a nice solid draw there right down the middle of the fairway. Now, both of those pieces, the turn, like I mentioned, getting the foot back at setup and getting the backswing turn, that's for more power with less effort, but we also can cheat the setup even a little bit more to help get that angle of attack up like we talked about before. So when we take our setup, right, we'll do the stock things correct. The ball's nice and forward. The stance is nice and wide. Now, as you pull your right foot back slightly, I don't even mind if you flare it out a little. It can help the turn as well, a little foot flare. I want you to take your trail hand and put it on the side of your leg. Now notice when I do that with a neutral amount of tilt, my fingertips are maybe 2 inches above my kneecap. What I want you to do is increase the amount your body's tilted away from the target and get your hands here on the side, get that fingertips down to the top of your kneecaps. Now I'm over exaggerating a little here to show you, but notice how that gets my body angled away from the target. Now with my body angled away from the target, does that look like that's gonna make it easier to hit up or more difficult? Easier, right? The more my body would be angled this way, I would hit more down, the ball would go nowhere relative to my speed. So we're gonna close the stance to increase the backswing turn for more power with less effort. We're also gonna increase the tilt at setup to help hit more up on the ball to get it to carry farther, again, with less effort. This piece should make it go even a little bit higher. So same thing here, the foot's pulled back, hands on the side of the leg, tilt that away from the target. So you want your stance to be closed and tilted. Write that one down, closed and tilted. Now from here, I'm gonna feel that trail side, the hip and the shoulder working up and back during the backswing. Foot's back, I've got nice tilt, hip and shoulder work up and back. And there's another good one, just kind of down the right side of the fairway there for me. So if you're a senior golfer especially, or any golfer at all, you want to be able to use this to hit the ball farther. None of us want to hit it shorter, and you can cheat some of these by getting those set up and those backswing pieces. I'm telling you, you have to kind of decide, do I want the turn through the ball or do I want it on the way back? And if you're interested in more distance, out driving your buddies, you want it on the back side of the spectrum. Any questions at all, always leave a comment down below, click that little like button, share this with a friend, and I appreciate you guys being here with us.